Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Olivia, and as you guys saw in the title of this week's video, I am gonna be reading some fantasy books and I'm pretty excited about this. I recently did a fall fantasy book recommendations video and a fall fantasy TBR video, and so now I'm actually setting out to do what I intended to do and actually read the books that I picked. So the first book that I'm going to be reading in this week's video is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This is actually a reread for me. I've read Throne of Glass, what's the next book? I've read Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and Heir of Fire, or most of Heir of Fire. I technically didn't finish it. And then I took a little break, and that was about 2 years ago, and so I don't remember enough about the series to just like jump back into it and continue. So this is one book that I want to read, and then there's two other books that I'm hoping to get to in this video. But if you watched my October TBR video, you'll know that the prompts that I picked led me to choose Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I know. I put this book off for a long time and I finally bought it. I'm not a huge fan of buying books new. I tend to thrift them or check them out from my library, but I did it. So those are my plans for this video. I don't know if I'm gonna stick with it, so please don't hold me to it. But yeah, let's do it. Like I mentioned before, the first book that I am gonna be reading in this week's video is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I have actually started it. I'm actually pretty far into it. I am 250 pages into it. And honestly, guys, I'm loving the reread maybe more than I enjoyed it the first time that I read this book. This follows a girl named Selena who at the start of the book is working as like a slave in these really dangerous mines. And she gets like taken out of the mines by the royalty of this world, basically saying that she's gonna compete in this competition to become the king's champion, which is basically his like personal little assassin. And she's such a badass and so cool, and there's so many like different mystery elements and setup elements for later in the series that I feel like I do have some deeper appreciation for now that I'm reading this again. I'm gonna dive back into this. I'm hoping to finish this hopefully soon. It's just so good, and then we'll see what I pick up next. Hello everybody, it's been a little while since I finished Throne of Glass, but I wanted to come on here real quick and just update my final review of this book. I ended up giving Throne of Glass a 4, maybe 4.25 stars. I honestly, guys, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the plot or the main character, Selena, or the side characters. I honestly have no idea, but there's something about this book that I just love so much. And the reason it's not getting like a full 5 stars is because I can feel that it's building up to something more even this early on in the books, and knowing what I've already read a little bit, if that makes sense. I just feel like books with a strong female main character really stand out to me and grab my attention, and that's exactly what this book had. The plot and like the competition throughout this book and like the role that the side characters played. I don't want to say too much because if you're considering reading this book, I don't want to spoil anything for you because it's just so good. I don't know, I tend to consider myself to be someone who really loves like trials and tournaments in books. It's why I love this book so much. It's why I love, what book is coming to mind? Oh my gosh, the second Darker Shade of Magic book. Love anything with a good competition in it, and that's exactly what this is. But I think the next book that I'm going to be reading in this video is A Curse for True Love. So that book just came out. So I'm very excited. I'll be reading that very soon. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll end this vlog with Fourth Wing. Hello friends, it's actually a new day now and I've actually recently started, I almost wanted to say The Ballad of the Archer and the Fox, A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. I took the dust jacket off. I don't know if anyone else is like that. For some reason with hardcover books, I just really get annoyed pretty quickly with the dust jacket on because it's like sliding around. Anyway, in October, I actually read both oh my god, what is it called? I read Once Upon a Broken Heart, and then I also read the second book in this series, The Ballad of Never After, and then this book just came out and I feel like everyone's reading it. And so far, I am really enjoying it. I've actually seen quite a few mixed reviews about this book. So far, I would say I'm enjoying it maybe equally to what I did The Ballad of Never After. It's interesting. There's the characters that are being given a lot of like time in this book are not necessarily the characters that I like or that I think most people like. But yeah, if you guys haven't read this series already, the first book is Once Upon a Broken Heart and it takes place in a really fun, really magical little world. Like literally little dragons sitting on mushrooms, castles, like just anything fairy tale that you can think of, it's probably in this book. And it, you know, it follows the story of a girl who has a broken heart and she goes to pretty great lengths. Oh my god, has this been here the whole time? And she goes to pretty extreme lengths to, we'll say, remedy her broken heart, and she ends up on this whole crazy adventure. Yeah, I'm excited to just cozy up and read some more. Yeah, okay, I'll update you guys soon, hopefully. Or honestly, hold on, maybe that's a lie. I'm currently over halfway. I'm on page 256. So honestly, maybe I'll just update you guys at the end. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday morning. I actually have to start work in a few minutes, but as you saw in the last clip, I just finished A Curse for True Love, and I wanted to come on here and give a little bit of my final review. I ended up giving this book a 3.5 stars. 3.5, by the way, a 3, a 3.5. I don't see that as like a bad rating at all. To me, it means I really enjoyed the book. I had no like major qualms with it, but it didn't necessarily stand out to me in any particular way. This book was really fun. It definitely had that magic fairy tale-esque little mini dragons sitting on mushrooms, just like cute, adorable things. Something about this entire series that I think I struggled with the entire time was I felt like all of the characters were kind of like cartoon characters. Like I didn't feel like they felt real enough for me to connect with them, which is something that I feel like I really do love about a lot of other fantasy series. Like while the things that happen in those fantasy series like can't happen in our world, I feel like the authors do a really good job of creating a space where it's believable, right? Like these are very real people in this very real world. But there was something about this series to me that just felt, I don't know, like I couldn't fully believe that these were like real people. I don't know. I feel like that's definitely the unpopular opinion, but that was probably one of my biggest issues, and the reason that I couldn't rate this any higher is just like I didn't deeply connect with anybody in here. Again, that's not to say that this wasn't an incredible world and story. I think Stephanie Garber has the most beautiful writing, and everyone is going to have their own experience with these books. They're very widely loved, so I know that people are going to have a different opinion from me. The other thing about this book is there's definitely a character in this series who I don't really like that much, and I think a lot of people don't like that much, who is in here for a majority of the time. Like, there's other characters that I think I would have loved to see more. But yeah, I still really recommend this series. Like, please don't take the 3 to 4 star ratings as I didn't enjoy it. I really did. Like, this was such a fun world to be in. I read this in like 3 days, maybe 4 days, which is pretty quick for me. So I still recommend picking this up because, again, so many people love this world. I definitely am in the group that's like the less popular opinion. So yeah, that is all for this book. I think I'm hoping to do one more book in this video. One second, guys. Give me a minute. Okay, we're back. I think the last book that I want to do in this video is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I am taking a little bit of a fantasy break right now. I'm currently reading The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. So that's actually been really fun, by the way. I'm really enjoying that book. I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't think I was expecting to like it as much as I am. But for this video, I do think that once I finish that, I want to get around to Fourth Wing. So we'll see. I don't know, you guys. This is like kind of a really fun video for me. I think the other book I did in here was Throne of Glass. I don't know. I've been talking for a while, so I think I'm gonna go get to work and then hopefully start Fourth Wing in the near future, and I'll be back. So yeah, okay. See you guys. For you soon. For me, probably in a few days. Oh my gosh, wait. I should probably move these. I just filmed my 12 books I want to read in 2024 video, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm filming. I might as well update the Fourth Wing / like fantasy reading vlog. So don't mind these books. But the last, honestly guys, the last clip I filmed might have been right here. And now I'm in the holiday spirit. The Christmas tree is up. I'm in my little Christmas sweater, and my mom got me these really cute pug pajamas, and I literally haven't taken them off for 3 days. So vibes are good. Vibes are strong. We're doing well over here. But like I mentioned, I thought it would be a good idea to update you guys on Fourth Wing and just like how I'm doing. I've been switching back and forth between the physical book and reading it on my Kindle. I checked it out from my library at Libby. I'd been kind of waiting for it for a little while, so it kind of worked out that I can switch back and forth. But currently, let's see, where am I? Where am I in this book? Okay, I found it. Also, didn't know I had this. I have this little Merry Bookmas bookmark. I literally didn't know I had it, but my sister came over for Thanksgiving and she found it like just hanging out in one of my Harry Potter books. So I'm really excited that I have this. I don't know if I've ever been so festive in my entire life. But currently I am on page 333. So I'm like finally making some good headway. Something that I've struggled quite a bit with in this book, and honestly just like this season of life, is Fourth Wing is definitely the kind of book where you need to sit down and like have a good like 30 minutes to an hour to like really get in the zone and like experience the world. And just with like how busy things have been with like my work and my social life and my personal life and my boyfriend, like, and family, the holidays, like I have a hard time finding a good 30 minutes or an hour to just dive into this. So I'm really happy that I've made that much progress, but I'm really liking this book, you guys. This vlog is not gonna have any spoilers, as I mentioned before, but our main girl, our female MC, I really, really like her vibe. I feel like she starts out really shy, and you can kind of see her confidence grow throughout the story. Also, this book is really marketed as like a very strong romance book, but honestly, what, 70% of the way through, it still feels very much like a subplot. And I like love the fantasy, the high stakes, the dragons, like everything about the plot is really, really good to me. So I don't really mind that there's not a ton of romance because everything else is so good. Like I'm so invested in like these kids graduating and like not dying. Something that I'm having a hard time with is like picturing the characters. I will say that, like, I wish there was a little bit more descriptions of like what everybody looked like, because I feel like I'm kind of just like making things up in my head, like for what people look like besides our main girl and like Zayden. Like everyone else, I have no idea what they look like, and it's kind of throwing me off just a little bit. Maybe that happened in the beginning and I missed it, I don't know. But yeah, when I picture where they live, it's like a gothic Hogwarts. I don't know if that is gonna resonate with literally anybody, but to me, it's literally just like gothic, dark Hogwarts with more dragons. And that in itself is really, really good because I am a Harry Potter girly for sure. I don't want to spoil anything. The further I get into this book, the less I can really say, but I am loving the plot. I'm loving the characters. I feel like I'm going to love the romance. It's just not the biggest part of this book yet. I think that's all I have to say. The next time I see you guys, I might just be finishing this book. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Hi besties, we're back and I am finally filming my review of Fourth Wing. I just edited the entire like fantasy reading video and I realized I didn't do my little review of Fourth Wing. I finished this like maybe 2 days ago, and I think I'm settling on my final like star rating for this book as a 4.5. This was so good. Like sometimes I definitely do not rally around the hype of certain books, but for this one, I absolutely understood it. This was so good, you guys. I feel like I have a lot to say and this video is already pretty long. So before I get into my little like synopsis, tell me what you guys think of this idea. To me, I had this like fun idea that I could like analyze popular books kind of like you would in English class or like in an English major, like talk about the symbolism and the imagery and the foreshadowing and the, I don't know, like the juxtaposition of different ideas. Like I was getting into it in this book. And so I think one of my future videos is gonna be like something that's like Fourth Wing, but make it English class. I don't think it's gonna be for everyone, but I just thought there was so much beauty in the way that certain things were done in this book that I thought that would be kind of a fun little series. So let me know what you guys think about that. But realistically now, like what did I actually think of this book? So good. I thought that the dragons were amazing. I thought the politics of this world were so like deep and I really appreciated that. I loved Violet. Like she turned into a character that I really loved. Like she was so strong and so confident in herself and I absolutely loved that about her. I really liked Zayden and you can tell that he just like really loves her. Like, oh my god. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like Ugh, you can just tell that he really cares. I will say the romance, I don't know what it was. It wasn't like my favorite romance in the history of ever. Like sometimes I couldn't really like feel it, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel it 100% of the time, but I still thought it was really great. The dragon relationships were so wonderful. Like I didn't know that dragons in books was something that I needed, but it totally is. The romance did pick up significantly, by the way, towards the end. I think my last clip of this book, I was like, oh, the romance isn't that big, but like, girl, it picks up towards the end of this book. But it felt like so much more to me than like just a romance. Like again, the politics, the friendships, the character development, it was all just so great. Real quick, let me wrap up this whole video. 1 second. Okay, these are the books that I ended up reading in this fantasy reading vlog. First, I read Throne of Glass and rated this a 4.25 stars. Then I read A Curse for True Love, and I believe I rated this a 3 or 3.5. And then finally I read Fourth Wing and I rated this a 4.5. So guys, this is a good video. We found some really excellent reads from this video. And yeah, I think that's it. I hope you guys are having a great day and a great reading month, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, you guys, bye.